again, everybody. It's Todd Staruch, the Horror Nerd, here at the first ever Classic Rewind weekend here at the Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The word icon gets thrown around an awful lot, but in this case, I truly mean it. I have the honor and privilege of sitting here with one of the icons of TV and movies, Miss Mackenzie Phillips. Mackenzie, how are you?
I'm doing so well. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I appreciate it.
And I truly mean it. I'm a fan at heart, you know, so it is a joy for me to get to sit and meet some of the people I quite literally grew up with over the years. So how have you been?
I've been very well. Thank you so much for asking.
And how's the show been for you so far?
You know, we're having a blast. It's fun. Tara Reid's on one side, my good friend Aaron Murphy's on the other side, and we're having a great time. Tara has her little dogs, so that's really fun. The little tiny 2-pound Yorkshire Terrier. It's a fun show. And you know, Ryan Weber, whose show this is, who also is the HorrorCon guy, is fantastic. His staff is welcoming, kind, helpful. You know, this is a great show. And for the maiden voyage, you know, this is the first year of Classic Rewind. I think it's really great.
Well, you are quite right. I've known Ryan for a very long time, and when I heard he was going to do more of like a non-horror convention like pop culture, I was thrilled because I'm getting to meet so many non-horror people finally like yourself, so it's a thrill.
Well, I want to come back. I was just talking to Ryan. I'm like, I want to come to HorrorCon. I said, I was on The Twilight Zone. I did a paranormal TV show for 3 years. He goes, even if you hadn't, you're welcome back. So that'll be fun.
HorrorCon is fun. You should definitely do it.
I want to, definitely.
So, as I said, you know, at the start here, a lot of these shows and movies I quite literally grew up with, including One Day at a Time. What is it? I know this is a cliche question, but what is it like, you know, having been part of what became an iconic part of American TV history?
Well, you know, I'm grateful. I'm honored. What's it like? You know, I mean, I started working as an actor when I was 12, when I did George Lucas's first film, American Graffiti. And so it's become sort of very normal. You know, you are what you know. And so it's been very normal for me to be, you know, ask questions like that. But it was great. Such an honor to be a part of One Day at a Time, but especially when I think about American Graffiti, you know, which is one of the American Film Institute's top 100 films of all time. I'm like, I am blessed in so many ways.
Yeah, you know, I like I said, I get to talk to a lot of people, and I hear that a lot because I'm sure, like at the time, and forgive me if I'm making an assumption, but at the time, it's a gig, right? Like you have no idea what it might turn into.
Look, when we did American Graffiti, I was 12 years old, and I'd only ever played Santa Claus in the school play, and I thought we were doing like an after-school special or something, or an education. I had no idea what we were doing. I had no idea. I was 12 years old. And then it was like, you know, one of the top grossing films of 1973. And I was like, oh, that's what we were doing? Oh my gosh, I wish I'd known. But, you know, through the years, through having a career as an actor and then shifting gears and becoming an author and then shifting gears again and being part owner of a drug and alcohol treatment center in Los Angeles called Breathe Life Healing Center, I have sort of been able in my 62 years on this planet to do a lot of different things, and I'm just so grateful to be able to, you know, when you come from the kind of place I came from with the substance use and the addiction and all that stuff, I never expected to be alive at 62. So every day I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like a little kid. It's like, oh my God, look, it's another day. I get really excited. I'm blessed. I have a 35-year-old son who is awesome guy. You know, I'm a happy monkey.
That's great to hear. You know, one thing is, I know you, over the years, you've been very open and forthright about your life and your experiences, and that's great because, you know, the fact that you've gone on, like you said, you're an author, and you've had a chance to go on and help a lot of people, you know, escape that. So that's great.
I think talking about it from your own personal experiences can maybe in some way normalize it for someone who might be watching, who might be struggling with a substance use disorder or a mental health issue or an eating disorder. And they might go, wow, because we're chipping away at the stigma. Every day, my job in my head is to chip away at the stigma surrounding people with substance use disorders so that it opens the door for more people to get clean.
That's fantastic. So you mentioned the book. Let's talk about it real quick. So
My first book was called High on Arrival, and it was like a massive New York Times bestseller. And you can still get it, but this is my little passion project, Hopeful Healing, and it's really just sort of a handbook for life. It's not just for people with substance use disorders. It could be for family members or someone who's curious about my life or just wants to live more in a more present way. It's a sweet, wonderful little book, you know, that I wrote that I love. I love my little book.
fantastic. So Hopeful Healing, folks, check it out. Mackenzie, before I let you go and to get back to the fans, what final message do you have for the folks that will be watching?
So we are living through very difficult times. I don't know what side of the fence each and every person watching is on, but guard your mental health. Take care of the people you love. Don't judge someone that doesn't share the same beliefs as you, because we're all in this together, and this is a really, really difficult time to be alive. So I would just encourage everyone to be loving, compassionate, but boundaried. You know, just take care of yourself and take care of the people you love. And my last thing would be, and this is going to piss people off, don't eat animals. They're friends, not food. There you go.
Fair enough. And you know what? I don't care if it pisses people off. That's how you feel.
Because, you know, it's like when my son was 9, I had roasted a turkey. And he looked at the cat, then he looked at the turkey, and then he looked at me and he said, "Can you explain to me why it's okay that we're eating this bird, but we're not going to eat the cat?" And he never ate meat again. And he's 35 years old. And I'm about 10 years into vegetarianism. So, and people are always like, well, how are you going to get your protein? I'm like, do you know that gorillas don't eat meat? They get plenty of protein from plants. Okay, now I'm on a soapbox and I'll stop.
No worries. Mackenzie, thank you so much for a few minutes of your time. It really was a pleasure to meet you. I wish you much success with the books, your life, everything. And for what it's worth, from a fan, I truly am glad that you came through on the other side and you're still with us. Truly mean that. Mackenzie Phillips, everybody, here at Classic Rewind Weekend at Atlantic City, Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Todd Struch, the Horror Nerd, signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.